December 7th, 1941. Many of you will know what happened on that day. However, for those of you that don't know or that maybe are a little unsure, that is when Pearl Harbor, one of our biggest army bases to this day, was attacked. Pearl Harbor is located in Hawaii, and it was attacked by Japan. Now, we were at peace with Japan at the time. It was during World War II, and Japan was for the Axis. We were helping out the Allies, but for the most part, we were neutral. Now, when Japan attacked us, it was not totally without reason. They thought that we were going to attack them, so they just wanted to hit first, so that way we were weaker if we decided to attack them. So when they hit us with the first wave of planes, there was 200 planes. Then they hit us with a second wave of 130 planes. Many of our ships were damaged or even sunk and destroyed. All 8 of our ships were damaged. 4 of them, being half of our battleships, were completely sunk. It wasn't the best for America. However, it didn't damage us as much as Japan had wished it would, so we were still strong. The next day is when the real turning point, I guess, happened. We decided to declare war on Japan, and by doing so, we had officially entered World War II. There was no backing down, we were in it, because the second that we declared war on Japan, Italy and Germany, the other Axis, immediately declared war on us. When we officially entered the war, we contributed a lot to the war. America went all in. Nobody wasn't doing something for the war. There was nobody that was unemployed except maybe kids. Even kids that were about 8 years old were contributing to the war. They would help to make their families dinner. They would help to not necessarily make it, I guess, but they would help to put the food on the table by working really hard. The women were working. Women and African Americans, which this had never been done before, were even allowed to help with the army. We were a very, very big part of World War II. As soon as we joined, we changed the war completely, and I believe that we are the ones that really helped to end it, because even after Germany surrendered and things were looking pretty good, we still had Japan to worry about. Japan, they weren't people to surrender. They would keep fighting until the death. So we dropped atomic bombs on them, 2 of them. One in Hiroshima and one in Nagasaki. The reason we did that is because we didn't see another way to end the war, and by doing that, we made Japan surrender. Therefore, we are really the ones that helped to bring about an end to the war. Now, it may have happened without us, but it would definitely have taken more time, and it would have been a lot more difficult for the Allies. That is why I think that Pearl Harbor was the biggest turning point in the war. If we hadn't joined, the war would be completely different. It would have had different outcomes, and it would have ended at a different time. Imagine the world that you'd be born into if the Allies had lost. And that is very possible if America had not joined the war. It is possible that Germany and Italy and Japan would have won. Hitler could have won. That is not a world that I'd want to be in, and it's not a world that many of you would want to be in. That's why it was really important when we joined. Pearl Harbor was a horrible thing that happened, and it is a very dark part of history, but it was very important for bringing about the end of World War II. Pearl Harbor is a date which will live in infamy, a day that will never be forgotten, and a day that many of us will continue to feel sorrow for. But it was a very necessary day in history, and it was a turning point. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you learned something.